This guy is actually a pretty strong mage with his own mid-sized guild. Han puts everything he has into this VR game. Literally everything. He spends all his money on it and ends up living in a crappy basement just to keep playing. So when a number 1 guild suddenly attacks his guild, it completely destroys him. And it gets even worse. His closest friend betrays him and steals all of his precious equipment. Now, strip his gear, Han becomes an easy target. He's forced to run for his life through the forest while those bastards hunt him down. Eventually, they corner him. And just when it looks like it's over, an old man suddenly appears out of nowhere. The attackers laugh, thinking the old geyser is just some random NPC, but then he casually blocks the strongest spell their mage can cast like it's nothing. And right after that, he shows them what real power looks like. With a single attack, he deals the maximum possible damage in the game, completely erasing those losers from existence while also blowing away half the forest in the process. Han is left speechless. He's never seen power on this level before. And then he learns the truth. This old man isn't some ordinary NPC. He's an insanely overpowered hidden master. And for some reason, he wants Han as his disciple. Han doesn't hesitate for even a second. He accepts immediately because with this kind of power, he'll finally be able to get revenge on all those bastards who destroyed his guild. His system is informing him that he has completed the epic quest. The master meets his disciple, and his class has changed from elemental mage to disciple. Duze grabs his hand and pulls him into a new dimension. It's a new world for Han, and he is scared to see it. The old man throws his warp spell, and both of them disappear from there. The master takes him to the midpoint of Mount Kunland. After reaching there, Han is feeling a little exhausted and wondering. Even high rankers cannot use the warp spell so quickly as he did. He is inquiring from his master about where he is right now, and if the master is really just an NPC and not an admin. Master is ordering him to not dole and informing him that within this cave is the place where he shall teach him. Our hero obeys his master and enters the cave. As he enters the cave, he gets amazed by the clear water inside it. His master is informing him about the lake of purification and how he's going to get purified from it. Master is making it very clear to him that he has no intention to teach him for too long, and his lessons will be taught through a concise and intensive 99 days course, and the lake will assist him through that process. Han needs more explanations. Dios is explaining to him that he shall be literally purified. As the saying goes, new wine should be put in a new wineskin. Purification is necessary because Han's present state is a complete mess. While saying that, the master kicks Han from behind and throws him into the lake. Han falls into the lake and starts drowning. But very surprisingly, he notices that he can breathe inside the lake. His system is informing him that the lake of purification is purifying him, and also it's giving him a warning about the coming extreme pain and suggesting him to brace himself. His system starts a timer of 60 minutes. As Han is wondering about what is going to happen to him, suddenly a very high voltage electric current starts running through his body, and he is enduring extreme pain as the system had already informed him. Master is looking at him from the shore and taunting him by saying it sounds like he is enjoying the refreshing sensation. Han is shouting inside the lake that every cell of his body is sizzling. Inside the gaming room, Han in real life is shouting with extreme pain, and he is thinking to log out himself from the game because it's not normal for the system to allow such pain. And when he was just about to log out himself, he remembers his guild's destruction and loss of his friends, his struggle with Genesis Guild, and how he and his younger sister witnessed his father beating their mother, and how hard he worked as a construction worker. After thinking about all his past, he decides to stay in the game, and he won't run away anymore. His long struggle with the pain comes to an end when the system shows him that 60 minutes are completed now, and he comes out of the water. Han comes out of the lake and lays down on the ground. He is very happy that he did it. As he is resting, suddenly the system sends him a notice that purification is completed and the player character has been reset. Now the system is providing him with his improved details. Our boy is shocked to see that his level has increased to 201. Master is laughing and saying that it seems the purification was successful. Our hero is so happy and wondering about what just happened from his master that he is just level 1 now. Dus is informing him that his state was mere rubbish just an hour ago. He is wondering about what he means. Master is informing him that nothing at all was proper with his state, his strength, stamina, and mana alike. Master is informing him that he cannot be invincible with such unstable capability. Our boy is thinking that because of his weak build, his master reset his level. Master is informing him that he shall mend and fix his feeble self from head to toe and bring out his potential to the extreme. Master is informing him that simply put, during the time others gain a single mana point, he will be gaining 1.2 mana points. Boy is thinking that means when an ordinary level 100 player gains 100 mana points, he will be gaining 120 mana points. Han bows down, informs his master, and thanks him for his kindness, and asks his permission to bow again in utmost gratitude. Master is laughing and saying that he is bowing quite a lot today. Master informs him that it's too early to rejoice because he still has a long way to go until he can achieve ultimate supremacy, and for the remaining 99 days, he must repeat this process 100 times, and along with additional training, he can do it. Han is showing his determination and saying that he is prepared to do not just 100, but 1,000 such training sessions, and he can become stronger. Master is hoping for the best, that his resolution remains unchanged. Now the system is informing him about the new quest. The true training begins Mega Metamorphosis. Its description is Endure Deo's training. Meanwhile, in the U.S. headquarters of Hive, developer of BMW and Hexagon Hive's Special Affairs Department, one employee is informing his team that the epic code 007 has been activated. Everyone gets shocked that Deo's took in a disciple. They are wondering about who could it be? That esports player from before. Another employee is informing them that he seems to be just some ordinary gamer. Suddenly, Oppenheimer, the vice chairman of Hive and lead of the Hexagon team, enters the office. He is looking at the screen and wondering that Han is just a typical obsessive user from Korea. The vice chairman is saying, "Let's see how far Han can keep up." In the past, Han wants to escape his disappointing real life. He manages to flee to the brave new world only to realize that it is not so different from the real world. As he begins to wander in despair, he starts to wonder if it isn't the world that is flawed, but rather it is just him. When he meets his master, hope is reignited and he begins training to become invincible. Du subjects him to various intense training methods. And then 3 months fly by. Atop a freezing, snowy mountain, both Master and Han sit in their small house. They are drinking wine, and the Master informs him of how exquisite the wine is served by his disciple. He offers Han a sip, and Han thanks his Master. Both of them enjoy the moment. The Master then informs him that his training ends today, as it is his last day, and he has to depart from Mount Kong. Han expresses that he is glad to graduate from all the hellish training sessions. The Master responds by saying that there is so much whining after only 3 months of training. He even gives him some time off while back in his days, he trains without sleeping at all. Han explains that he spends his free time working in construction to repay his debt. Han then informs his Master that there is something he has been wondering. Is his Master once like him in his youth? The Master explains that he too once searches for the path to power, though his aptitude is not as bad as Han's. Han agrees with his Master. The Master then continues telling Han that 500 years ago there are 8 warriors, the mightiest in the continent, and he is the weakest of them all. He is desperate to surpass them. So he shuts himself in Mount Kong and trains for years. Eventually, he attains ultimate power, but even then, he still cannot defeat them. Han inquires if they are truly that powerful. The Master replies that it has been 500 years since he leaves Mount Konglan, and by the time he returns, the 8 warriors have all died from old age. The Master has lost track of time. So, when he returns to his town, he finds that people don't want to talk to him, and he wanders around his house. The enlightenment he has attained through his training is rendered completely useless. Duce throws a book in front of Han and orders him to take it. The Master then asks Han if he understands the true meaning of invincibility. Han responds to become more powerful than anyone else. The Master rejects the answer and explains that invincibility means being undefeated and able to defeat any opponent. Han inquires if he should not be stronger than his opponent to defeat them. The Master clarifies that this is not necessary, because he simply has to weaken the stronger opponent, and in that moment the enlightenment he has attained is revealed. Now he becomes the Alpha and Omega of the DEBUFF Master. The system informs him that his quest is complete, and now the true training begins. Mega Metamorphosis. The description reads, Endure Deo's training at 100%. The system then informs Han that he has successfully changed classes, and his class has changed from Disciple to DEBUFF Master. His character name has been changed from Tyson to Siegfried. The system calls him by his new name and provides all the details about his new character. The Master, as his one and only disciple, states that Han needs a name deserving of such dignity and suggests he use this new name henceforth. Han thinks that player character names cannot be changed in BMW, but his Master has somehow bent the system's rules. He doesn't complain, but with this new name, he truly feels reborn. With this power, he is certain he can crush Genesis. Dustin informs Han that as his disciple, there is a task he must undertake. Han asks about the task. The Master explains that although the 7 mighty warriors have died before he could defeat them, they would have left behind disciples and successors before passing away. The system provides him with a quest titled Master's Grudge. And its description reads, defeat the 7 successors of the Mighty Eight, aside from himself, who were the greatest warriors in the continent 500 years ago. The Master orders Han to defeat those successors using the skills he has developed. Han confirms that he will obey his Master's command and swears to defeat them all, proving the might of his power. The Master likes the look in Han's eyes and announces that the lesson has concluded. He orders Han to depart and succeed him as the mightiest warrior. Han thanks his Master and bids him farewell. In the blink of an eye, Han disappears, having been magically transported by his Master's touch. The Master thinks that perhaps he should have fed Han more before sending him off. At the domain of Beerman, located at the western end of the continent, Han arrives after traveling through the woods. He thinks to himself that his Master has sent him pretty far away, which is actually a good thing since he is at level 1. If he runs into any Genesis members right now, they will totally beat him up. His first priority is to reach level 100 as soon as possible. As he nears the castle, he sits in a tree and opens his job information on the system. After reading the information, he thinks that Heavy Strike is probably an active skill, while Zone of Frailty and Zone of Mortality sound like wide-range debuff skills. He then reviews the details of Zone of Mortality and Zone of Frailty. After reading through them, he is surprised and mutters, "This is freaking insane." Han is frustrated that a skill not only reduces defense, but also magic resistance and deals fixed damage proportional to mana. It is ridiculously overpowered. He is determined to use this skill immediately. He begins looking for a monster or some random NPC. Suddenly, he notices a huge tiger charging toward him. Han shouts at the monstrous tiger to stop, insisting that he is not its enemy. As the tiger draws closer, he notices a tiny cage stuck in its mouth, and inside the cage is a hamster crying for its life. The hamster calls Han an idiot human and begs him to save its life. The system informs Han that it is an urgent hidden quest to save the Great Spirit and kill the mutant tiger. Han thinks about the hidden quest, wondering if a talking hamster could really be a great spirit, and about the terrifying mutant tiger. He realizes the tiger's level is far too high for a starting area monster, but that doesn't matter now. He remembers what his Master has taught him about Zone of Mortality and Zone of Frailty. Determined, Han picks up a large stick from the ground and charges at the tiger. With a powerful blow to the tiger's head, he knocks it out. As he stands over the fallen creature, he thinks, "I just have to make them weaker." Han fights with the tiger and hits it successfully on its head again and again. The hamster looks at his amazing fighting skills through its cage and wonders how a level 1 human fights neck against a level 20 mutant. The hamster yells at him that he has to win and save him while calling him an idiot human. Our boy thinks that the hamster is really noisy and wonders if the hamster actually cheers him on or not. Han notices that the tiger still has half of its health meter left even after he beats it dozens of times. He guesses debuffs alone can't fully overcome a huge level gap, and he runs low on mana and stamina, and his club will break soon. Now he decides to finish this tiger with one last blow. He gathers all his powers, and this time he uses the skill Heavy Strike. First, he waits for the tiger to come close to him, and as the tiger launches an attack at him, Han with his complete strength swings his club at the tiger and hits it on its head. Our hero hits the tiger so hard that his club breaks into pieces and the tiger flies far away from him. After successfully defeating the tiger, his system informs him that he reaches level 15. Now he wonders, level 15 after a single battle. It really is worth the risk, he thinks. So this is the gift of being the debuff master, defeating what cannot be defeated. The hamster yells in anger at our protagonist to quit zoning out and get him out of here. Han looks at him and thinks it's so annoying. After coming out of the cage, the hamster thanks him with his very dirty language. Our boy enjoys its foul mouth. The hamster wants to repay the favor and inquires from him if he feels lonely traveling all by himself, and he offers his company if he wants it. Han quickly rejects his offer because he doesn't get lonely and starts to walk away from him. After seeing his trick doesn't work on him, the hamster starts to cry and begs him, saying he is helpless right now and he lost his memory and all his powers, and he requests him to please take him along. Han gets irritated by the hamster clinging onto his feet and informs the hamster that he doesn't keep pets. He looks at the system for more information, and the system informs him that his hidden quest is completed to save the Great Spirit, and his reward is the hamster, and it tells him to form a pact with the Great Spirit, meaning the hamster. Han is not happy with the hamster as his reward because it sucks. After a few minutes, our boy remembers that the system calls the hamster a Great Spirit. Han wonders that he might be a hamster, but he hears that great spirits can be as powerful as elemental kings. It is quite obvious to him that this hamster is useless for him now, but what if it gets its powers back? So, Han decides to make a deal with this hamster, even though he is ready to ignore his bad manners because of its cuteness. The hamster is surprised to hear that and gets emotional. With his magic spell, our boy forms a pact with the hamster and his system confirms it. The hamster feels a strange sensation through his body. The system provides all the details about the Hamsterdam. It's surprising for Han that he and the hamster have the same level, and he wonders if the hamster will grow as he grows his level, and he is not able to understand the meaning of Rogue of the Woods. After forming a pact with him, the hamster officially introduces itself to our boy. The hamster introduces as Promethos Cactus Hydroleva. Our hero quickly rejects its name because of its length. Han takes his system's help to assign the hamster a new name, and he informs it that he chooses Ham Ham as its new name. Ham Ham is not happy with his new name and still does not talk to him, even though it sits on Han's shoulder. Our hero wants Ham Ham to accept this name and get used to it, but Ham Ham ignores him. He starts to tease him with his new name and wonders what is wrong with it. Ham Ham informs him that there is no benefit for a great spirit like him. Han laughs and explains to Ham Ham that there is no changing it now, and he has to accept it, and he calls him Mr. Hammam. After getting friendly with him, our boy inquires from his new friend about how he ends up in a birdcage. Ham Ham explains to him that he has no idea, because when he gets into his senses, he finds himself inside a birdcage, and he has no memory of his past. All he remembers is his name, and that he was once the spirit of a forest. Han taunts him by saying that he is actually trapped in a bad situation. Ham Ham gets angry and informs him that as his master, he should bring his memory back. Han wants Ham Ham to relax and suggests to him that they both have to grow stronger first. After traveling for a while, they reach a building where a man welcomes them as travelers from another world. His name is Jericho, and he is the Mercenary Guild's receptionist. His type is NPC. He inquires from them about the purpose of their visit. Han informs him that he wants his mercenary license. Our boy knows that a license is a must since he should level up all over again. Jericho demands from him to prove his qualifications. Jericho explains to him that he knows that otherworldly folks are immortal beings, but they still have to check if they are capable enough to be a registered mercenary, and he suggests hunting some mutant hares that roam nearby. Han puts the mutant tiger's claw on the table and inquires if this would let him qualify. Jericho quickly recognizes it as a claw of a mutant tiger, and he knows that it is strong and sturdy and often used for low-level weapons. Han very proudly informs him that he kills one on his way to town, and he suspects this is far better proof than killing mutant hares or squirrels. Jericho says that he is right about it, but he shows his doubts about Han killing the mutant tiger himself, and our boy inquires if he wants him to kill another one. Finally, Jericho accepts it and passes his qualification. He informs him to follow him, and he will give him the license. Han feels surprised to see that it actually works. Jericho presents a round-shaped device as his mercenary license. Our boy feels happy to receive it. Now this time, Jericho wants to make an offer to him and wonders if he is interested to hear it. Han feels curious to know the offer. Jericho informs our fighter that an unusually large horde of mutants marches towards Bierman, and a ranch is attacked just a couple of days ago. Its residents tremble in fear ever since. Han understands that more monsters show up in town. Jericho confirms it and reminds him that the mutant tiger he kills is never seen in Bierman until recently. And that's not the only new monster they have seen. Some other fearsome monsters like mutant wolves and mutant buffaloes threaten the peace of Bierman. Han feels curious about it because he does think it is weird that a level 20-some monster is in a beginner area and something unusual must happen here. For that reason, Jericho asks for his help. Suddenly, the system informs him of his new quest to protect the domain of Bermont, and it provides him with its details. After checking the quest details, our protagonist informs Jericho that he is not interested in this quest because it's too low level for him to bother with. Jericho admits it's low level and begs him for help as he is the only person in town who could defeat a mutant tiger. He informs him that they are so secluded from the other domains that they don't even have a communication magic circle, and that means they have to wait at least a week for any reinforcements. Our boy informs him that normally he doesn't accept quests with meager rewards, but he can smell that this quest might offer a massive level boost. Jericho feels very happy and wants to confirm it. Han confirms that he is willing to help. Meanwhile, at Schreer Castle, the neighboring domain of Bierman, there are dead bodies on the street and one man is badly injured trying to escape. He already loses one leg and crawls on his belly, begging for mercy from the killer who is about to kill him with a war axe. The killer shows no mercy and with a single swing of his axe kills him. The killer says that he already tells him to keep his head down and that humans are indeed a foolish race. He calls himself a superior being to the humans and announces himself as their king. After thanking Jericho, Our boy leaves the building. Ham Ham again calls him Idiot Master and wonders if he looks like a complete hobo before and informs him that now he looks like a passable hobo. Han feels very disturbed by the bad manners and asks him what he means by that. Ham Ham jumps on his shoulder and while pulling his dress informs him that he cannot wear those tattered training suits forever. Han holds his brand new mace and wonders if it is good enough because he wants to use it as soon as possible. But Ham feels hungry and wants to eat now. He feels surprised to know that Ham Ham already feels hungry because he just buys him a magic stone. Ham Ham says that the magic stone is very low-rate and barely fills and calls his master Penniles Hobo. Han also loses his temper and threatens him to change his name to Piggy and informs Ham Ham about the magic stone, which costs him a fortune. As they argue with each other, 3 people appear in front of them and inquire if he is the adventurer who slays a mutant tiger. The stranger introduces himself as Manbok Jang and says he will be one of the mercenaries doing this quest with him. The second one is Thompson and the third one is Ruji. Our boy thinks that they must be the mercenaries Mr. Jericho mentions. Han feels happy to work with them, and he introduces himself with his new name, Glad. Manbok calls him a raid leader. Han feels curious to know about this raid leader. Manbok explains to him that the most powerful player always becomes the leader, and besides they are noobs who cannot take down a mutant tiger alone. Han feels happy because these boys are honest that they depend on him. Thompson inquires about their new mission from Han. Han explains to them that their new duty is to protect the town alongside the Beerman army, and he orders his team to visit Butchery Ranch, which reportedly faces a major attack. At the Bookery Ranch, which is the domain of Beerman soldiers, soldiers fight mutant monsters. As soon as they reach there, all of them start helping the soldiers. Manbok gets tired very quickly and sits on the ground because he is fat, and Thompson informs him to stand up as a monster comes their way. As he looks back, a huge mutant buffalo comes right toward them. Suddenly, our hero jumps between them and informs him to run away from there as the monster targets him. Han uses very heavy strikes, and with single blows, he already kills many of them. Our warrior jumps at the mutant buffalo and hits it on its head, and with a single strike he kills it. The system informs him that he just receives a level up for killing it. He wants to hide his debuff skills from other players as they notice his power now. So he decides not to use them now and decides to hunt the monsters on his own now. Thompson inquires about Han's safety, and he informs him that he is fine, and he also inquires about others because he has seen him getting hit by a buffalo. Manbok informs him that he is fine, but Thompson is badly injured, and because of his injuries, he will not be able to fight for a while. Manbok informs him that it is amazing how he single-handedly kills a mutant buffalo, and there is no doubt in his mind that he actually kills the mutant tiger and inquires from him if he considers going pro. Han says he just happens to land the final blow as he wants to hide his debuff skill. Suddenly, the evil master of mutant monsters calls them back, and all the monsters start running away from there. Our young man feels curious to know the reason they all run away from there, and he thinks that this will complete their quest. But he senses something wrong there as all the mutants run in the same direction. It is as if someone orders them to return. Their system informs them about their new quest, which is an investigation quest, and provides them with all the details. Han thinks that it is a follow-up quest to the Protect Beerman quest, and it means defeating monsters is not the end of this quest line. Han leaves his team behind and orders them to go straight to the barracks and informs them that he goes after the monsters to find their hideout. His new team members feel worried and show their concerns for him going alone. Han informs them that he is uninjured and he will be fine for this quest as he can handle it on his own. Ham comforts them to not worry as he has his back. His team agrees with him. Our boy scouts in the forest, and from the monster's footprints, he guesses that they all go in the same direction. He soon realizes the demon of Shreer is also there. Han follows their footprints in the woods and notices that they change their direction. Suddenly, Ham Ham, who sits on a tree, points out his idiot master toward a huge castle. Han thinks that it must be Shreer Castle, but surprisingly, it looks like empty ruins. He enters the castle and finds out all the monsters are present there, and their boss is Gorgo, who rides a mutant tiger. And the system informs him that a legendary golden goblin is said to be born only once every 100 years, and all the other details about him. Han quickly understands that he is a goblin lord with mind control powers, and that is why the mutants go berserk. Ham Ham feels curious to know what after finding the cause he goes to do. Han informs him that they go back to the barracks for now, and there's nothing he can do on his own at this point. Right now, at the Beerman Army barracks, Bullrich introduces himself to Han, and he is the commander of their army, and our hero also introduces himself to the commander and informs him that it is his pleasure to work with him. The commander informs him that he hears a lot about his feats, and Jericho strongly recommends him. The commander informs him about the shortage of time. Otherwise, he would enjoy his company, and he wants to get straight to the point. He informs his team that according to Han's report, Schreier falls under goblin forces. The commander inquires, does it mean that the mutant horde is also their doing? Han informs him that more specifically, a goblin lord uses his mind control powers over the mutants and conquers Schreier, and now he targets Bierman. One of his generals inquires from him. If Hans's report is true, that means they are practically done, and there is no way they can fight against a goblin lord, and it is not too late to evacuate the lord and the residents. Manbach feels confused and asks for permission to ask something that why did he not know that Schreier fell earlier, because it is a neighboring domain. The commander explains that they never have frequent exchanges with Schreier, and means of communication are lacking in faraway domains such as theirs. Now Han raises questions and inquires from him about why he did not have time to investigate. And since he was busy fending off the mutant horde, and that was part of the Goblin Lord scheme, that he purposefully isolates Bierman to enable this situation. The commander is said to think that Bierman's 300-year history will fall under goblin forces. The commander worries about how he can report this to his lord. Han suggests that there is one way out of this. The commander rushes toward him and wonders what it is. He wants to know. Han explains that it is not a 100% guarantee, but with enough time, they still have a fighting chance. Actually, Han needs time for himself to level up. Han is informing them about his plan, that from a task force of his swiftest soldiers, he will utilize guerrilla tactics to scatter the mutants as much as possible and lure the mutants to where he is, and then he will take care of the rest. Once he reaches level 30, he will join him and fight the goblin forces. The commander is inquiring from him if it's true that other worldly warriors like him grow powerful at an extremely quick pace thanks to the rune of transcendence. But the Goblin Lord is a level 50 monster, and even if Han reaches level 30, there will still be a 20-level gap. Our boy agrees with him that he will still be at a disadvantage. But he still killed a level 25 mutant tiger when he was at level 1. That's why he believes he can still take on the Goblin Lord. And even if he fails, he could buy time for reinforcements to arrive. The commander agrees with him and informs him that he shall put his trust in him. The system is showing him details of his new quest, Gorgo, the Goblin Lord. Its type is a normal quest, and its description is to slay Gorgo, the Goblin Lord. Also showing other details. His hamster is calling him an idiot master and asking permission to ask him a question. Han quickly informs him that he has no money left to buy him food. The hamster gets angry and shouts at him that he is not hungry. Actually, he wants to know when Han was talking with that commander. He seemed to be hiding something from him, and he wants to know what it was. Han wants to know how he noticed it. The hamster explains that great spirits like him can be quite perceptive, and people like him don't understand him. Our hero is informing him that he will get a new skill once he reaches level 30, and he is searching the system for his new skill. Finally, he finds out the one, and it's called Supreme Contempt. Han is thinking that this should come in really handy when he fights Gorgo, but it does not guarantee that he will win. Ham is inquiring why he is hiding his skills from others. Han explains because he doesn't want to reveal them yet. Some people here are players who will make a huge fuss if they see his overpowered skills, and rumors spread fast. The hamster says that sounds exhausting because humans are complicated. Han jokes with him that it's better than living as a gullible simpleton and getting stabbed in the back. During all that time, Roji is keeping an eye on the hamster. Manbach is inquiring from Han if he is finished talking with the commander. Han confirms it and apologizes for scheduling the plans around his leveling up. Manbach informs him not to worry about it, because they are grateful enough that he is letting them join him. Lazy Manbach is already sleepy now and informs him that they will be going for some sleep and wonders what Han is planning now, because he has been playing for 14 hours. Han informs him that he will take a short break since there are 2 hours left until the operation. Manbach is leaving while saying that they will see him later. The hamster is inquiring if his master is going back because he is bored. Han informs him that he won't be away for long and gives him a gold coin to buy some food for himself. Funny Hamster is thanking his master and quickly runs away to buy some food. As the hamster is about to leave, he remembers that his master was out of money. Han smiles and presses the logging out button for BMW. In the real world, Han wakes up in his small and dirty apartment, and after playing for 14 straight hours, his back is hurting. He is very hungry and wants to eat something first, but he falls on his mattress and decides that he doesn't have much time left, so he better take some rest. While lying on his mattress, he is thinking about it. So many things have happened. He lost his guild and became a fugitive. He met his master and got a hidden class called DEBUFF Master. He killed many mutant monsters, and now he is fighting to save a domain. Before he used to play BMW just for money and revenge, but now he is having fun. He is smiling because he guesses that he is still a kid at heart. He wishes he could play again as soon as possible and level up more to enjoy the game effortlessly. Now he cannot wait to play again. He wants to level up before the operation, and he is also missing Ham. Suddenly someone knocks on his door, inquiring about Mr. Han. He slightly opens his door and asks about the purpose of their visit because he should not be having any visitors. These men are here to install his new capsule. He is shocked to see that because he has not ordered anything. The visitors inform him that it's addressed to his place and his name is written on it. Han explains to them that he did not place any order. The courier people inform him that they don't know about the details, but this capsule is to be delivered to his address, and they also hand him a note from the sender. Han gets shocked to read the note, which congratulates him for getting the epic code 007. Han wonders if this must be a code for his class, because he has heard that hidden classes come with all sorts of benefits. He guesses that this must be from Hive. After understanding that, he quickly opens his door and thanks them for coming to his apartment and offers them a drink. Outside his apartment, Mr. Lee is hiding behind a wall and informing someone that the capsule is being delivered. Mr. Lee asks for permission from his boss about the reason. He has gifted a capsule to Mr. Han because he is a complete stranger to him as far as he is aware. Mr. Lee's boss explains to him that he and Han are both hidden classes and he is calling it camaraderie. Han is very happy to receive his new capsule and wonders that he has seen this product in commercials. He gets shocked to see its model. It's Chi Hyong Suk, the guild master of Genesis. This capsule is a luxurious one, and it's for the ultimate gaming experience. He is thinking of Ogre, the Hyper VR capsule. It's a VR capsule that the average gamer cannot even dream of owning, no matter how hard they work. It is now installed in his home. He is unable to believe that Hive just gave him the Ogre for free. Even used ones cost at least 100 million won. He thinks they really pamper their hidden class users. So he decides not to sleep and starts playing again. He quickly sits in the capsule and puts a new helmet on. He feels the sensation, which is nothing like old models. He feels its comfy recliner, and his brain actually feels clearer than in real life. Even though this is virtual reality, he can feel that all his senses are heightened. A hot breeze and the smell of something burning reach him. He quickly realizes that the town is actually burning. He wonders what has happened here. Mutant wolves tear apart soldiers, and demons kill people mercilessly. The entire town and castle burn in huge flames. Han stands on a hill, witnesses this disaster, and wonders how it happens. Suddenly, he hears a voice. Someone calls for help. It is Ham Ham, and a huge mutant monster runs after him. The hamster informs him that he cannot run anymore, and that a great spirit should not die like this. Han quickly takes out his mace and attacks the monster that's just about to eat his hamster. Our boy hits the mutant wolf on its head and kills it with a single blow. Ham Ham sighs in relief and calls him an idiot master. Our hero asks about Ham Ham's health. Ham Ham informs his idiot master that he is late and wonders what takes him so long because he almost dies out there. He orders his hamster to calm down and inform him about what really happens. Ham Ham wonders, isn't it obvious that once they return to the other world, the goblins attack Beerman with all their mutants as if on cue, and there is nothing the Beerman army can do against them? This makes Han more angry that those monsters attack when they are offline. Suddenly, he realizes that it means he is the only adventurer here at the moment. Ham Ham explains to him that this is why this whole mess happens, and at least that is a relief because he will not have to hide his skills anymore. Han informs Ham Ham that he has got a mission for him. The hamster thinks that he has a bad feeling about it. In the village, 3 soldiers protect 2 women and 1 child, and many monsters gather around them. One soldier informs the others that their situation is not good at all because he thinks they have evacuated all the civilians, but he cannot see how they can save them now. There are too many mutants for them to handle. He informs the other soldiers that this is where they die. Suddenly, our brave warrior appears there and kills a monster with a single strike of his mace. The system informs him that he has used a heavy strike. Han starts killing mutant monsters one by one. All the soldiers wonder who he is. Now Han orders the soldiers to evacuate with the civilians, and he will handle the mutants standing between them and the mutants. One soldier says that he is a mercenary and it will not be fair to leave everything to him. They request Han to let them help him. Han informs them that he really appreciates their concern, but much prefers fighting alone. Han uses his zone of mortality and zone of frailty to fight the monsters. After seeing Han's skills, the soldiers agree that he can really fight the monsters alone. Before leaving, soldiers offer him their power drinks to help him in his fight, and our hero thanks them for this help. He guesses that it should be okay for NPCs to see his debuff skills, because it feels a bit awkward since he has not used them in a while. Suddenly, a huge mutant wolf attacks him, and he puts his mace in its mouth and kills it with a single blow. After that, he kills another mutant monster. He hits them on their heads. He is amazed that someone is in a hurry and wonders that the zone of frailty must hurt a lot. Han jokes with monsters while killing them. He says to one of the monsters that his posture is all screwed up while killing it, making fun of them by asking if his mace hurts. If it does, then he should not have run when he places the zone, and he should still beat the out of them all. He is also surprised to see his best performance and wonders if his capsule is so expensive because he can see enemy movements much more clearly than before. His reflexes improve thanks to his master's lessons, and now it feels like he can dodge any attack. So that is why rich gamers are so good and have been hogging the best devices all along. Within a few minutes, he has already killed a countless number of mutant monsters. And now he experiments with this 3-combo heavy strike and kills 3 more monsters. Very quickly, he reaches level 22. He is not happy with the results because he has already killed dozens of monsters. Now he understands that it is hard to level up beyond level 20 and there is not enough time. His hamster runs towards him shouting, "Fuck him, idiot master." As countless mutant monsters run after him, Han thinks, so what if it is hard to level up? He just has to kill as many as he can. He quickly runs towards Ham to help him. The boss of the monsters thinks that it seems like a rat from the outskirts has arrived and is causing quite a lot of havoc too. He perceives that Han can pose a risk for him and can potentially be a sizable threat if allowed to grow even stronger. He is unlike pathetic scum like the others. The evil boss rubs his feet on their lord and sits on his throne. The commander is injured but still reaches there to help his lord. He thinks about what the evil boss says, a rat from the outskirts, and he thinks that it could be that Sir Han has returned. The commander thinks he must buy Han some more time to grow stronger. He shouts at the evil monster that he cannot let the Goblin Lord reach him. The commander shouts at the Goblin Lord, asking where he thinks he is going. He says he is his opponent and calls the Goblin Lord coward, declaring he shall slay him on this spot and protect his lord. The Goblin Lord wonders how the commander can call him a coward, as he himself is a weakling who cannot even protect his lord but dares to call him a coward. He challenges the commander by putting his axe on his lord's throat. The Goblin Lord challenges him, warning that he cannot guarantee how long he and his lord are going to last. The commander understands that they cannot stop the Goblin Lord much longer and silently requests Han in his heart to finish the mutant monsters as soon as possible. About 30 minutes ago, Han presents his plan to Ham Ham, but Ham Ham completely disagrees with him, and Ham Ham says that he is a great spirit, not bait, and he is scared of getting caught while luring them. Our boy informs him that there is no other way. He tells him that if he does not help him, he will remain a low-tier adventurer who has to run away all the time. He warns Ham Ham that everybody there will be slaughtered if they give up. Ham Ham selfishly replies to him not to drag him into his battle. Han explains to him that it is not just his battle, because he will not be fighting alone. They will be fighting together. Now he flatters the hamster and informs him that he is counting on his great spirit. Han's buttering works on Ham Ham, and he agrees to help him, but Ham Ham wants Han to buy him heaps of nuts after it's over. Our boy agrees with him. Back to the present, Ham Ham is angry with him and ignores him while sitting on Han's head. Han apologizes to him. The hamster says that he is sick and tired of being chased and warns him that he cannot gaslight him into something like this again. Our hero agrees with the hamster and appreciates his hard work and informs him that they don't have much time right now. Han tells him to relax because the hamster is not going to be in danger anymore. Ham Ham says Han's victory is just because he helped him. While drinking water, Han inquires from the hamster about the other thing he asked. Ham Ham wonders if he's asking about the Goblin Lord's whereabouts and informs his master that he did not see him, but he has an idea where he might be. Ham explains that when he was luring the mutant and goblin horde, he caught a glimpse of Bierman Castle. A freakishly evil aura was seeping out from within, and he could not see what was inside, but that evil aura could only be the Goblin Lord. Our boy wonders if he invaded the castle first as the king of the goblins. Still, the Lord should be safe since the higher-ups are the first to evacuate when there is an attack. And yet he has a bad feeling that this time is not the case. It is also concerning that Sir Bullish cannot be found anywhere, and he should hurry. Ham asks if his master has decided to go right now. Han confirms and orders Ham to stay where it is safe, because it won't take long. As the hamster hides inside the ruins of a house, he feels that a dead monster had moved, so he decides to follow his master. Right now our boy is standing in front of Bierman Castle, and thinking that it is quite bigger than he imagined. And Ham was right, as he also can sense a sinister mana from within. He thinks that it could be dangerous if he walks in without any preparations. As he is making his plan, he notices Ham standing right behind him. He is a little angry at Ham for following him in such a dangerous place. The hamster hides his own fears and says that he is here because he was scared for his master and wonders how he could send him alone to certain danger. Now the hamster wonders about his master's plan. The hamster warns him that he has leveled up, but this time he is fighting a Goblin Lord, and he will need a plan in case his attacks are not effective. Han agrees with him, but there is no time for them to make any kind of plan right now. He thinks that sometimes the current answer is to just push forward with brute force. Han jumps at the gate of the castle, and breaks it into pieces with his hammer. Ham Ham is rude, as always, and says to his master that he is out of his mind and asks why he cannot just walk in like a normal person. After entering inside, he quickly finds Sir Bullrich, who is injured and hiding behind a wall. The commander is happy to see him and informs him that he knew Han would make an impressive entrance. Han notices that the commander has lost one arm and quickly runs towards him. Our boy inquires from him about why he is still here instead of evacuating. The commander says that he may be weak, but he is still a knight, and it is a knight's duty to protect his leg. Now Han understands that his guess was right, that the Lord is in danger too. As our hero talks to the commander, suddenly the Goblin Lord shouts at him that he is the human who has been wreaking havoc upon his army. When he turns back, he sees a Goblin Lord who is holding a giant axe in one hand, and in the other hand, he is holding the commander's cut-off hand. The Goblin Lord says that Han does seem more powerful than any other human he has come across so far, and he can see why that one stubbornly stood his ground. He laughs at our hero and orders him not to feign ignorance. The Goblin Lord informs him, "Did you think that I was unaware of how you sacrificed the humans of Beerman in order to gain time to grow stronger? In the end, these fools died for nothing while they waited for you." The commander tells Han not to let his words disturb him and that it is their duty to protect the realm. Han confirms from the commander if his liege is the man lying unconscious behind the Goblin Lord. The commander confirms it. Han tells him to just wait for a second. The commander advises him not to let the Goblin Lord provoke him. The Goblin Lord laughs at our hero that he let his guard down and put away his weapon, wondering if the guild has driven him mad, and that is why lowly humans can never win. Han uses the speed restriction on the Goblin Lord and manages to reach his lord. The Goblin Lord is scared and surprised because he has lost the sight of his human. He wonders if it was a coincidence or some trick of his. Han orders him to take his grubby hand off Sir Bullock's arm. The Goblin Lord is angry that this boy dares to command him, and he starts flying towards our fighter, but Han is much faster than him and disappears just in front of him. The Goblin Lord falls on his knees and wonders if it was no coincidence, but something he did. He thinks, did he become swifter or did he just slow him down? The monster senses an abhorring sensation of some force restraining his entire body. He yells at our fighter about what he has done to him. Han thinks that speed restriction is more useful than he thought, and judging from the goblin's reaction, is super effective. Han brings back the commander's hand and informs him that he could not attach it back again, but it still does not mean that the enemy should have it. Han thanks the commander and all other people that he could grow stronger. He informs the commander to leave the rest to him now. Han orders Ham Ham to stop hiding and escort them outside. Ham obeys his master and starts dragging the lord from the castle. The commander thanks the hamster for helping them and requests him to handle his lordship more gently. Ham Ham, as always, tells him to shut up and get going. Han is satisfied that the commander and the lord are safe, and now all that is left is the Goblin Lord. The Goblin Lord yells at him that he mocked him with some puny tricks and then snatched away his trophy. The Goblin threatens him that he will tear him apart. Han thinks he does not have to worry about anything else now, as his lord is safe. Han looks at the Goblin Lord and informs him to let them have some real fun. The Demon Lord pushes forward with a powerful straight strike and breaks the magical chains around his body with his giant war axe. He attacks our hero again and again, and Han is dodging them. This time, Han hits the demon with his hammer 3 consecutive times, which hurts him a lot. But the demon manages to kick him so hard that our boy flies away and crashes into the wall. While trying to regain his senses, Han is surprised that he has adapted to his speed restriction very quickly. Yet, even with his enhanced state, he is unable to fight a boss of such a high level. The Demon Lord mocks him, wondering about his current situation and questioning his previous arrogance. The demon wonders if Han really thinks he can defeat him with his cheap tricks and admits he totally underestimated him. Now he wants to make our hero an exception by taking his time killing him. The Demon Lord informs Han about what he plans to do with him. And after all that, he is going to eat him for dinner. Han is gathering all his strength, but feels a bit disappointed that his speed restriction has limits. He knows it is just a support skill, and his mana is running out, which means he won't be able to use any other skills while the speed restriction is activated. Han checks his system for more options, regretting not using the other skill first. He now considers deactivating his speed restriction, but at the final moment his system advises him not to deactivate it and to wait for the right moment. This time Han attacks the demon Hedin, and the demon is curious to see if Han has any other tricks up his sleeve. The Demon Lord deals with him as if he is a child, taunting him and saying he needs to think fast in such situations. Without cunning, Han is no match for him. After exchanging a few attacks, the demon hits Han again with a mighty blow and throws him to the ground. This time, he puts his foot on Han's chest. The demon informs Han that for ages, humans have treated goblins as lowly barbarians. He admits that due to some innate limitations compared to humans, goblins are destined to be inferior. As he says this, the demon pushes Han's chest with his foot, showing his determination to change this reality from now on. He is determined that under his leadership, goblins will become great again. He wants fear and respect from humans and other superior races. And, as Goblin Lord, he has dedicated his entire life to this purpose. Clearly, the Demon Lord talks too much, and now he says that a common mercenary with no greater cause would never understand his vision. Han replies that one cannot become an activist by saying such things, and all the demon's warmongering still won't earn him any respect, because they're just a bunch of filthy cowards. This time Han taunts him for his dirtiness, asking when was the last time he took a shower, and starts laughing at him. This makes the Demon Lord a little angry, but also more curious. He wants to know if that is all Han has to say to him. This time the Demon Lord wants to kill this human and raises his war axe to strike him down. Our boy quickly deactivates his speed restriction and disappears. After swinging his axe, the demon searches for Han, but Han has already escaped his grasp. The demon feels his body is light and panics when he notices his axe is stuck in the wall. Thinking it might be part of Han's plan, Han takes this opportunity to attack from behind and strikes him several times. This time, he hits the demon so hard that the demon has no choice but to call his mutant tiger for help. The mutant tiger breaks through a wall to enter the castle and throws our hero away. The Demon Lord remains calm and relaxed, telling his tiger he doesn't want to destroy the castle any further, which surprises even himself. Han also acknowledges the mutant tiger's strength. The demon then reveals his true power, mind control, and now he wants to finish off our hero. He orders his ultimate mutant tiger to attack Han, proudly referring to it as his greatest masterpiece. With a single blow, the mutant tiger throws Han far away. This time, Han hits the wall and falls face first. The Demon Lord laughs at him, informing Han that this castle will be his grave. As the Demon Lord laughs, satisfied that he almost killed Han, he suddenly hears Han's voice repeating, "This castle will be his grave." This shocks and scares the demon. He tells Han that he called him a common mercenary with no greater cause, but was wrong. Actually, Han has activated his supreme contempt. Now, the balance of power has shifted from the goblin to Han, and the system informs him that damage inflicted against Gorgo increases, while damage inflicted by Gorgo decreases. Han makes it clear that he is no common mercenary. In fact, he is the debuff master, the man who will rise to the top of the world. His system notifies him that he has completed the quest to protect the domain of Beerman. The day is finally over. Inside the castle, the Demon Lord and his mutant tiger lie dead on the ground. With his death, his mind control ends, and all the monsters are freed from his magic. All the remaining goblins are also killed by Hans's friends and army. Now, all the survivors start working on the reconstruction of the town. Right now, Hans sits in a corner drinking his energy drink, shouting that this potion tastes extra amazing after a close shave, and that there is nothing like it in real life. He still cannot believe that he has already defeated the powerful Demon Lord on his own. It is all because he has enough mana to use Supreme Contempt at that moment. He remembers the time during the fight with the Demon Lord when the system informs him that he can now use the skill Supreme Contempt. Otherwise, he would have been long dead. At that time, the effect maximizes in proportion to level disparity. Then the system begins informing him about the details of Supreme Contempt. He thinks it is insanely overpowered, even compared to the other debuff skills he has learned so far. It does have a long cooldown though, so he should use it with caution. He thinks about his future strategy, because it is not easy for him to hide his skills from others. As he looks at his system, Sir Bullrich approaches him, wondering about his wealth and recovery from last night's fight. The commander is in a good mood, and says that he can see from Hans's face that he is feeling better now, and praises his stamina, which he noticed during his fight with the Demon Lord. Hans still feels weak, but stands up in his honor and informs him that he is feeling much better now and inquires about the commander's health. The commander tells him that he felt suffocation inside the barracks, and their lord commanded him to escort Han to the castle. Han is curious to know about their lord's health, as he remembers his injury seems quite severe. The commander admits that it could have been fatal if he had not arrived in time. The lord has been treated and is feeling much better now. The commander laughs while informing him that the lord might appear rather frail, but he is famed for being as healthy as a warrior in his prime. Han does not want to offend him, but the lord seems like an old and dying man. Han apologizes for his arm because he says he would not have lost it if he had arrived a bit earlier. The commander comforts him, saying there is no need to feel sorry. In fact, he should be thanking Han. Because of him, they managed to save many of his soldiers. He informs Han that losing one arm is a small price to pay for protecting his motherland. Han praises him, saying that he is a true hero through and through. The commander smiles at his comments and urges him to hurry to the Lord, informing him that everybody is waiting for him in the castle. As he reaches inside the castle, the old lord himself welcomes him, even though his condition is not good, and two soldiers hold him by his arms. The Lord wonders if Han must be the brave young man who saved him and his domain. He introduces himself as Baron Bergman, Lord of Bierman. Han shows his happiness at seeing him well and introduces himself as Han. The Lord is very happy with him, and just to show his gratitude, he goes into a prostrate position in front of Han. Our boy is shocked and tells him there is no need for it. The Lord, weak and injured, cannot hold himself in this position for long and falls down to the ground. His guards rush to pick him up. The old lord cries out with pain in his back. Han looks at the commander, wondering about what he said about the Lord being as healthy as a warrior. The commander feels embarrassed. The old lord sits on a stone with the help of his guards. He asks for pardon and informs Han that he has yet to fully recover. Regardless of his bad health and constant pain, he thanks Han once again. Our hero requests that he does not have to thank him anymore, as he is just a mercenary hired to help his army and does not deserve all this cordiality. The Lord informs him that it does not matter why he helped them, but what matters is that he protected their land at the risk of his own life. If it had not been for him, the peaceful and beautiful land of Burman would have fallen into goblin hands. The Lord tells him that he has prepared a token of gratitude for him and requests him to follow him. Han's eyes light up because he has been waiting for this moment to receive the quest reward. Our boy thinks about the reward and hopes that it is good enough to make up for the insane difficulty compared to his level. The old lord curses the goblins while watching the broken door, which costs him a fortune to build. The Lord takes him into a great hall, and Han remembers the place as he and the Goblin Lord fall there while fighting. At that time, he did not realize that this room is so huge. The Lord informs him that this treasure hall was built by one of his ancestors, an avid antiques collector who used this space to store his collections. But now most of those items have been lost or sold, and very few valuables remain. He hands over a box to Han and informs him that this is one of the very few remaining genuine treasures. As he opens the box, a golden light comes out of it, and he wonders if it is a coupon for Atelier Mercedes. Since ancient times, the Nurburg continent has been renowned in the arts of magic, alchemy, and smithing alike. For thousands of years, these technologies steadily develop until the lines distinguishing each blur and combine, merging together. This process produces the artifact, the ultimate culmination of magical, alchemical, and metalworking technology. 3 massive workshops rise to become the professional producers of these artifacts. The first is Odenike, famous for its advanced technology. The second is Berlin, famed for its lethal artifacts. The third is Mercedes, the greatest of them all. All 3 workshops are widely lauded as the greatest on the continent and are hailed as the 3 great workshops. The reward for defeating the Goblin Lord is none other than a coupon for accessing the services of Atelier Mercedes, the greatest of all workshops. The system informs him about the Atelier Mercedes 100% and plus 112 enhancement coupon along with more details about it. Han is shocked that the coupon offers a plus 12 enhancement with a 100% success rate. He thinks a coupon like this must be priceless. The old lord explains that 700 years ago, when Mercedes first set up shop, they were a new business suffering financial difficulties. To solve this problem, the workshop sold the coupon for 1,000 gold coins. At the time, that is an immensely large sum to invest in a newly opened workshop. After all, Mercedes is just a tiny, unknown workshop back then until one man helps Mercedes out of this situation. That man is his ancestor, Count Graham. The Lord says he has no idea whether his ancestor foresaw Mercedes' potential or simply liked to collect random companies, but he made an extremely fruitful investment. Finally, that coupon has found a fitting owner. Han tells the old lord that this is too much, and a coupon of this value should cost at least several hundred million gold coins by now. The Lord informs him that it is not truly his anyway. The coupon is intended for a talented descendant born in their bloodline, but nobody has deserved it so far. His son is perhaps the most talented descendant as of now, but he is still a bit lost. He wishes he was at least half as good as Han. Han understands his feelings and feels sad for him. Now the old lord asks a favor. He tells Han that when he was injured by the Goblin Lord, he regained consciousness for a fleeting moment while someone was dragging him outside. At that moment, he saw Han's unwavering gaze so strong and steadfast. He knew then that Han would become a hero famed throughout every corner of the continent. Han laughs and blushes at the Lord's remark. The Lord asks him to help his son once Han has become a hero. Our boy wonders about the Lord's son. The old Lord explains that like his ancestor, he too wishes to make a fruitful investment in Han. Whatever else his son lacks, he is gifted with good health and keen perception. Han tries to hold back his laughter while listening to the Lord and tells him how he could refuse such an offer. So he makes a promise that he will help the Lord's son no matter what. His system notes down the details of his promise. Han holds a golden ticket in his hand as he comes out of the palace. He feels curious about what he should do with it. He wonders if he could sell it at an auction and might get several 100 million gold coins at least. Then he would be able to pay back his debt and also buy a brand new house for his mother. He starts thinking about his master and what he will say to him. He guesses that his master will be very angry with him for being short-sighted, and then he most possibly will kick his butt. He thinks of reinvesting this money into his future. So he puts the golden ticket into his system because he believes he can make money eventually. Now he wonders about Ham Ham and where he is right now, as he has not seen him all day. He wishes that Ham Ham is not up to some weird shenanigans again. So he starts looking for him in the town. In the town, Ham Ham entertains Han's friends by dancing in front of them. Manbach says that Ham Ham reminds him of his daughter when she was little. After completing his dance, Ham Ham demands money from them. Manbach informs him that he deserves a reward for putting on that adorable show and gives him a snack. Ham Ham is happy to receive his snack and offers to mimic his idiot master in front of him. Ham Ham gets shocked when Han appears just behind him while he mimics his master and calls him an idiot. Our boy picks him up with his 2 fingers and says, "Who would have thought he is begging for snacks here and that he is not a streamer or something?" He informs him it's really undignified for a great spirit. The rude hamster says, what else could he do when he has a poor, stingy miser like him as his master and orders him to get out of his way if he is not going to buy him snacks. Han says that he thought that Ham Ham lived off magic stones and not nuts. Ham Ham informs his master that they taste bad, so he only eats them when he feels weak. Manbach is happy to see Han and calls him their hero and wonders where he has been because they were looking for him all over. Our hero informs him that he had an appointment at the castle and shows how happy he is to see him. Manbach asks if he's always on the run and wonders if he has received his reward yet. Han informs him that he is here to receive his reward. Manbach informs him that in the years he has been playing BMW, he has never received that much for a single quest, and Thompson will turn green with envy since he freaked out and left at the last minute. Han thinks of not informing him about the Mercedes coupon because he doesn't want to ruin his good mood. Suddenly, Mr. Jericho appears there and welcomes him. Han is happy to see him safe. Mr. Jericho thanks him for saving their lives and says that the guild building is destroyed and it will cost a fortune to rebuild it. He hands over 5,000 gold coins to him as his reward. Han thanks him for the reward and apologizes for the building. Mr. Jericho whispers into his ears that the Baron must have summoned him to the castle for an extra reward and tells him that he did not tell other mercenaries about it. Han thanks him for his discretion. Our boy asks for a favor from Mr. Jericho. Han wonders from him why he could not find the Goblin Lord body at the castle and wants to know what they did with his body. While offering him a drink, Mr. Jericho informs him that he can find it near Bierman Lake because his lordship hung it high up on a stake as an example to the surviving goblins that ran away. He adds that he caught a glimpse this morning, but it was so heinous that he lost his appetite. Han thinks that it looks like the Baron is way tougher than he looks. Now he thinks that it's time for him to leave Bierman. He thinks that it was a short stay, but he had plenty of experience and grew a lot stronger than before. He wonders if his master will send him here, knowing it would be good for him. He thanks his master for a good start. As he thinks about it, a young man enters the bar and shouts very loudly. Han tells him to blast it and says he thought he would go deaf for a moment and inquires about that person. Mr. Jericho says that he thinks his eardrums burst. Han thinks that the loud husky voice sounds familiar. He wonders if he is his master. People wonder if he is a man or a bear. Manbach says that he has never seen such a high NPC before. Han goes straight toward the stranger and finds out that he is not his master. The stranger calls him his disciple. Han is confused and wonders if he's talking about him. The stranger confirms that he is actually talking about him. The hamster whispers into his ears and asks if that's his master who taught him, because he does look awfully intimidating. Han totally rejects him and refuses to acknowledge him. To find out the stranger's reality, our boy activates the rune of insight. The stranger's name is Thulguz, and he is a famous NPC. Most important is his level, which is 361, and his title is the Sword Emperor. Han thinks about his super high level. The stranger quickly notices that he recognized him. He introduces himself as the Emperor of the Single-Edged Sword and informs him that his blade can slash through sea and mountain, and his name is Wulgus, mightiest of the Stellar Five. After saying that, he starts releasing a huge amount of energy from his body, which no one is able to stand. Many people fall down. Our hero remembers that he had heard about them. people start running inside their homes. Basically, the Stellar Five are the 5 stars of the Nurburg continent. It's a title for the 5 mighty warriors who have reached the state of mastery. He cannot believe himself that he ran into a famed warrior in these backwoods. Then again, he did meet his master in the middle of nowhere. He wonders if maybe desolate places have a better chance for random encounters with powerful beings. Han goes close to the stranger and looks into his eyes. The stranger wonders if he is excited to serve him as his master. Our boy pulls himself back and shouts that he is freaking him out, and he totally rejects his offer and wonders why he is calling him his disciple. The stranger very confidently tells him he is his disciple because he said so. He notices that he does look like a greenhorn who has little understanding of the world around him. He informs our boy that he may have heard of the Stellar Five or the Sword Emperor, but still cannot truly fathom how great he is. Now he wants to explain himself to him. Han explains to him that he does know it. The stranger is surprised. Han explains to him that the Stellar Five refer to the 5 great masters of Nurburg, and he also knows that they are all exceedingly powerful. The stranger is surprised and wonders that he already knows, and yet he seems oddly unimpressed. Our boy informs him that he is too late because he already serves a master. The stranger is shocked and confused and offers to just abandon him and serve him as his new master. Han warns him to be careful because his master is far more powerful than him, and he taught him the secret of invincibility. The stranger is curious to know about his master's strength and wonders if he is one of the Sovereign Three. Our boy informs him that his master is more powerful than all 3 of them, and the stranger is curious to know if there is someone more powerful than those 3. Han confirms it and explains that he is the mightiest. First, the stranger gets shocked to hear about the mightiest, but after a few seconds, he considers it a joke and releases a huge amount of energy from his blade and informs him that it is he who is the mightiest rookie. The stranger appreciates the fact that Han has great respect for his master. He confirms to him that he is not forcing our boy to become his disciple, but still he does not wish to leave empty-handed and suggests playing a little game, calling him an arrogant disciple to be. His system informs him about the urgent quest, and its description is to win a game against Wegus of the Stellar Five, and warns him if he fails, he has to become his disciple. With Gus, as a 26-year-old man, hones his skills tirelessly with a single-edged sword slung over his back. He practices his skills alone in the forest for years and becomes a master of it. After decades of blood and toil, he finally achieves a state of mastery. In that process, he cuts down countless trees. And at the age of 120 years, yet a strange sense of emptiness is far greater than his joy. Even the elves of the forest feel frustrated with him for chopping down all their trees for the past 100 years. But they're scared to stop him. He keeps wondering why he feels so empty and what more he can hope for after achieving his goal. One day, when he notices a sword master teaching his disciple sword fighting, he finds out that he needs a disciple because his perfectly honed skills will be of no use once he perishes. That day he decides that he needs a disciple to whom he shall pass on his knowledge. So he searches every corner of the continent in pursuit of an heir. He considers many candidates. One is good at utilizing mana, but has a poor grasp of combat. Another is born with a poor muscular skeletal structure. His growth will be limited no matter how hard he tries. He also hears about a famous young talent in this town, but he dies in a carriage accident. The stranger loses his senses while thinking that it takes at least 20 years to teach a disciple properly. But he is already 130 years old. He worries that he might die of old age before he can find himself a disciple. He has searched almost every nook and cranny aside from Bierman, and by that time, he is ready to clutch at straws. So, he heads to Bierman. The moment he spots Han, he realizes that plucky little greenhorn is destined to become his disciple. And he points his finger at our boy. The old man's continuous efforts irritate our boy, and he starts shouting at him that he does not care about his life story, and he makes it very clear to him that he is not interested. The stranger stays calm and explains that's why he kindly offers him an option when he could easily take him by force and challenges him to beat him in the game if he does not wish to be his disciple. Now it is clear to him that there is no point reasoning with the old man, and he thinks about his strategy, because there is no point running away from such a powerful man, and there is even a quest for that game of his. The old man comes prepared. The system gives details of his urgent quest. Finally, Han agrees because he has no chance but to play along, and he inquires from the old man about the nature of the game. The old man explains to him that it is very simple. He just has to hit him. He gives him one chance to strike him with whatever attack he prefers. It is his choice, magical or physical, and if he manages to inflict the slightest damage on him, he wins. The old man is very arrogant and challenges him to attack him and informs him that considering his current weak condition, he is not going to use his mana to defend himself, just his clothes that he is wearing right now. The old man shouts loudly that he has no weakness because he has honed every part of his body. Our boy thinks that he does not want to hurt his crazy old man, but he has no choice, so he starts noticing him. He suddenly remembers that the old man just said he is not going to use any mana to defend himself. The stranger challenges him that if he does not think he can win, then there is no shame to submit. Han inquires from him if he knows his name, but the stranger says that there is nothing in names and he will ask his name later. Our boy starts reasoning with him that it means he has no interest in him as a person and he just needs a vessel to pass on his skills to. To defeat this selfish stranger, our boy uses his zone of mortality, which reduces enemy defense and magic resistance, and supreme contempt, which inflicts greater damage against a more powerful opponent. After that, he uses heavy strike, which strikes the enemy with a powerful blow. Our hero is determined that he will never serve someone like him as his master. The stranger laughs and tells him he can say that after he has beaten him. Our boy is confident to win. Han attacks him with his complete powers. The stranger is very confident and calls it a very reckless move, thinking he will likely direct all his debuff skills to a single area of his body and attack his weak points. But such puny tricks only work on weaklings. The old man thinks that he can easily prepare himself once he figures out which area he has weakened. And now he wonders which part his body Han has weakened. The old man is shocked to see his furious and brave attack with his warhammer. And when Han hits the stranger, he cannot believe it himself. Our boy's friends wonder about what just happened because they cannot see anything because of the dust. Manbach tells Bulwick that this is the first time he has seen Han fight for real, and he cannot believe he is almost the same level as him. The bartender says that there is no wonder that he defeated the Goblin Lord on his own, and he gets shocked to see that the old stranger had died standing upright. Manbach says it looks like he just passed out, and the bartender says the old man's pants are soaked, and he understands that even a master warrior could not train that area. Our boy laughs and tells the old man that he does feel a bit sorry for him as a man and warns him to just not play any stupid games again and wonders about his reward because he guesses it counts as completing the quest. After a few seconds, his system informs him that his quest is completed and he wins against the Stellar Five and he can take his reward now. Our hero hopes that the reward is never getting involved with that wacko again. After the fight ends, Ham Ham appears, wondering from his master about what just happened and informing his master that his head still spins from that crazy old man's attack. Han tells Ham Ham to let slip away from there before that crazy old man wakes up and starts bothering them again. Town people try to wake up that crazy old man. As Han leaves from there, he remembers that he was about to do something before that stranger appeared. The hamster reminds him that he mentioned he was heading to the place where they hang the Goblin Lord's body. He remembers that he was going to collect some of the Goblin Lord body before it rots and sell it for huge profits. Ham calls his master such a miser. Han corrects him that he means thrifty and he keeps walking in the forest. In the Sahoka ruins, which are located in the kingdom of Maclan, a massive level 500 monster called the Python once appears in the ruins 30 years ago. It is also a popular leveling zone for adventurers between levels 40 and 60. The mercenary guild near the Sahoka ruins looks for party members. They have got 2 dealers and 1 healer. They can piggyback him for 10 gold coins per hour and offer Han that he can level up easy and fast in their party. A girl also shouts that they are looking for party members. A boy comes while holding a golden sword in his hand and wonders if she is looking for a party member and informs her that he can join if they need a dealer, and he just got himself a unique weapon too. She apologizes to him that they already have dealers and they are now looking for a buffer. The young man is annoyed and returns from there. The girl thinks that there are too many people and no priest and no buffer at all. Her name is Gossen. She is an adventure player and her level is 48. She quickly notices that everybody around her searches for healers or buffers for hours, just like her, and she starts laughing. So she decides to end her search for today, and as she leaves, she notices Han, who walks away from there. She has never seen him before and wonders maybe he is a newbie. She decides to check him just in case. She activates the Rune of Insight, and after seeing his details, she runs after him and grabs his hand. Han and the hamster both are curious to know about her. Gossen requests him to join their party. Our boy takes money out of an ATM machine in his real life because after he finished the Bierman quest, he took care of some real-life affairs that he had put off, and one of them was paying back debts. 200 million won in bank loans and 100 million won in private loans. He is thinking about the very high interest rates and the debt collectors who force people to pay their debts even if they have to sell their organs, and how they used to harass him almost every day. He's happy that they are not bothering him anymore, and he is hoping that they will never visit him again. Han is feeling hungry and wants to eat some food. And as he is walking on the road, he notices a rich man driving a brand new sports car with his girlfriend. He is curious to know how much it may cost. Since he had made some huge amounts from the Goblin Lore quest, he is feeling lucky for running into that quest, because normally low-level players like him can rarely access quests with huge rewards. The economy of BMW is extremely polarized, just like in real life. In this game, higher-level players, mostly beyond level 200, are given multiple opportunities to obtain rare and expensive items. One of their money-making methods is piggybacking lower-level players. They usually go pro if they have super quick reflexes and good stamina, or some become streamers if they have charisma. In other words, he can make easier and faster money once he levels up. Right now, maybe he is dirt poor except for his VR capsule. But someday he could buy himself a fancy imported car, live in a luxurious penthouse, and then date and marry a stunningly beautiful woman. When he returns to the game, he finds beautiful Gazan standing in front of him and inquiring about his good mood. Han is surprised to see that beautiful girl and starts staring at her. Ham Ham is calling his idiot master and wondering if he was daydreaming. Our boy quickly gains his senses and requests her to repeat what she was saying. She smiles and explains to him that her party is looking for a buffer or cleric, and if he has not joined any other party, then he is welcome to join theirs. Han is thinking that she took a look at his class and assumed that DEBUFF Master was some support class because of its name, and now he feels stupid for assuming she was genuinely into him, as he is apologizing to her for rejecting her offer. Ham quickly replies to her that they are joining her party. Our hero gets angry at Ham Ham and shouts at him that he is not his master, and the hamster says that he is as thick as a brick and informs him that it is a green light, and she is interested in him. Han gets confused and wonders what he is talking about. The hamster is inquiring from him if he really wants to play solo for the rest of his life, and informs him that it is weird for someone who just daydreamed of having grandchildren. As Han and Ham Ham are yelling at each other, Gon wonders if Ham Ham is her pet. Our boy warns him to stop going that far. He finally agrees to Ham Ham that he cannot hide his skills forever. The hamster mocks him by calling him his virgin master. Our boy gives up and asks if it would be okay if he just casts debuff spells from the rear. She quickly comes close to him and confirms that they already have dealers, so he can just lay back and cast debuff spells. She is curious to know if he is really joining them. Han, who is amazed by her beauty, confirms to her that he will join her party. So he starts following her to her place. On their way, he is searching for the western outskirts of the Sohoka ruins. He finds out that once it was a prosperous megalopus, but the city was reduced to rubble and ruin following the fall and rampage of Python, the lightning serpent 30 years ago. After Python was defeated, the massive mana within its body seeped into the earth, which is causing a natural environment for light-attributed monsters to emerge. Now he understands the reason behind why most of the monsters here are light-attributed, and it is interesting lore. Maybe because it is a new leveling area. Mr. Who is walking with Gao is informing her that it's good she found them a buffer and wonders about Hans's level, which is way too low to be useful as he is just level 31. She explains to him that this would not be a problem, and they will be dealing damage while he casts debuff from the rear, and if there is an emergency, she will provide backup, so he doesn't need to worry. He warns her that she's sometimes too nice for her own good. Mr. S is clearly jealous of Han, as he tells her that he has worked with buffers before, but never with a debuffer, and he is not sure if they are useful. She laughs and informs him that it was not easy to find any buffers or clerics, and she just wants to make the best of it. Suddenly, an explosion happens, and she informs Mr. to get down. Han thinks that those must be the monsters born from Python's mana, and he quickly understands that these are Laserling's monsters. His system is providing him details of these monsters. She orders the others to get ready for battle. She informs Han that Mr. and she will fight those monsters from the center of the formation, and the tankers will block monsters from the front. She orders Han to stay behind them and cast debuff spells. He obeys her. She and her team members attack those monsters. One female tanker informs her partner that she knows he is also a tanker, but it's better to avoid taking damage as he is leading from the front. He informs her that this doesn't even tickle, and he can still take them on while getting hit. And besides, it's not like they have anyone who can buff or heal them. Our hero is standing at his side. The male tanker is thinking that whatever a debuff master is, there is no need to debuff small fry like Laserlings, and wonders why she brought a low-level debuffer anyway. Actually, he doesn't want to split his rewards with him. He arrogantly informs his team to leave the tanking to him, and they should hurry up and hunt bigger game. Suddenly, a monster hits him with a powerful magic attack and throws him down. The system informs them that the user delicate damsel has died. Now, all his team members start panicking. They are surrounded by countless monsters. The female tanker shouts that even for a pack of monsters, there are way too many of them. Gossen informs her team to go back the way they came from. Mr. informs her that they cannot go back as they are completely surrounded. She thinks that there were not this many before, and she should have been more careful. She thinks that there are 4 of them, and she has only 3 return scrolls. She guesses that she has no choice but to remain by herself. Han, who is not impressed by the monsters, stands very confidently and informs her that he can put them back in their place and tells Ham Ham to hide somewhere safe. Ham Ham quickly runs to safety. Han inquires from her if she doesn't know the latest market price of return scrolls and why waste them on other people. She is curious about how he knows. He informs her that she is the kind of person who would do so, and he gets that she is kind and considerate. But if she is way too nice, people will take advantage of her. He advises her to keep those scrolls for herself. She worries about him and doesn't want to leave it behind. He wonders who said she has to run right now. He smiles and informs her that they are not in danger. All her team members are looking at him with surprise. He quickly activates the zone of frailty to slowly decrease enemy stamina and mana. And after that, he activates